Welcome back to Nature's Cadence Farm. This is day two of tree cleanup and moving logs around. So be sure to check out day one if you'd like, or you can pick up right here. It doesn't really matter. It's all kind of the same thing. So we're just excited to be out here in the snow. We got some beautiful uh, light and fluffy. It was really cold, I guess, so it was nice and fluffy snow, but it was a little bit warmer yesterday, so today it's kind of turned into a crust. But either way, I've got a red oak right here that I'm standing in front of. The top, I don't know if you can see that, but the top has broken out of it, and it's actually laying right here on the ground. And I've got over there a maple that has uprooted, and I'll get you in there a little bit closer to show you that. The majority of this red oak is on this side of the creek. There's a creek right over there, by the way, right back there. And this maple, the majority of this maple is on this side, but I've got another maple right on the other side of the creek that is pretty big. I mean, it's pretty big. So, but that's on the other side. I'd like to get that cleaned up too. I don't know if I'll get to that today or not, but nonetheless, we've got enough to do already, and we've got to get this maple off the stump. That's one of the first things to do. And this red oak here, I'd like to take this stem here and get that on the ground, just so I can maneuver around here a little bit easier than I have been able to, because it's so, I don't know, it's just really congested, with all these trees that have fallen down everywhere. And this is a really nice area down in this bottom here. So yeah, let's get started with, I'll show you these trees, get you in a little bit closer so we can take a good look at them. So here's that red oak stem right there. You can see the top blew out of this. We had an event out here about 3 years ago, that a wind event that had caused all this damage, and these have been down since then. I'm sure this oak is still good. It doesn't last forever, but I'm sure it's still okay. Then over here I've got this maple. You can see the root ball there, and it's got there's another tree, looks like a root ball right there beside it. I don't even know what that is. A little bit smaller tree, but you can see the top of it. It goes on straight through there. So like I said, the idea is busted off the stump here, off this root ball, and maybe get some chains on it and see if we can drag it out a little bit, get a log off of it, and then pull the top out a little bit more so we can break that down. And like I said, the top of this red oak, there's not much of it there. There might be enough in the trunk here that is usable. We'll see. We'll get it out of there, at least pick it up and work with it a little bit so we can get to it. But first things first, we'll go ahead and see if we can get this maple off of the stump and see if we can find anything else while we're down here and get that cleaned up too. So let's walk over here and let's see what this other tree was. I think looks like it was still trying to grow. This maple might still be alive. I don't know what that is. Maybe a beech or something it had knocked over, but you can see it's just an absolute mess down here, and it's just not getting any better. So it looks like there's all kinds of stuff. That's a little bit closer view of that stump over there, or that's what's left of the stem there. But all right, so let's get in here. We'll clean up some of these limbs. Like I said, that's kind of why I want to get it off of here and pull it out so I can work with it, because it is just so scrubby in there, and I have the equipment to move the tree, so why don't we just move the tree? Here's the cast of characters for today. We've got an XL12 Super, XL12 automatic. We've got a Poland 3314, a PL 3314, and then over here, this is an MS 391. These guys are going to be out and about. I think we'll use the 391 first and see if we can get this red oak stem down. So let's go ahead and get set up on that. It's a fast idle. see, it looks pretty good. Nice and clean on the inside, so I'm good with that. What we can do is cut some blocks off of here and off of the stem here. And we'll find a good place where it's not all splintery down here where the top came out of it. Cut that up, clean that up a little bit, and then at that point we can stack that junk up, get it out of the way. We can go ahead and get a chain around this and drag it out to where we can work with it a little bit. Maybe pick the whole thing up, cut the top of it off, the smaller stuff, and then be able to stack this log up with my other ones that I've got over there for firewood or projects or whatever I need logs for. Possibly a garden bed or something like that. This oak ought to last a little bit. It's red oak, nothing spectacular, but it will, you know, it's better than nothing, right? So, yeah, let's go ahead and work with this maple now, and we'll see if we can get that cleaned up. Alright, well that's off of the stump. That's pretty nice. Thankfully it was about that far off the ground, so I could just go right through it, and feels like it just dropped straight down. So that was perfect. Let's see here next. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go. Let's see. Yeah, we might end up doing some brushing out some stuff so I can get the machine in behind this log right here, where you can see right behind me there, and that's going to be able to, like, once I get the chain underneath there again. I should have had a chain underneath there again. Anyway, I'll get it. So yeah, if we brush out behind here, I'll be able to get the machine in, pick the log up, move it out, and get to the rest of it, and break off the top, and then stack the logs up with the other ones that I've got over there for firewood. Because I'm not going to mill up any of this. I guess I could. I mean, it's maple. I guess I could mill it up, but well, maybe we'll look at it. We'll see. It didn't get damaged when it fell. It seems like the top end kind of busted up a little bit, but nothing spectacular. So, well, maybe we'll look at that and see. But we've got this down, that cut up, and we'll probably just go ahead and cut this splintery part off of this red oak that's over here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah, you can see some of that oil where it's just been sitting, kind of smoking off of there a little bit. But man, these things run great, right? Oh man, I love these Super XLs. Love the old home lights. And like I said, I probably had it idling. It probably dripped some oil on it or something like that. But man, these things run great. I really like it. Thank you, Seth, and your family. I went ahead and cut the top of that maple off. So I've just got the log here, the base of it, and then I've got the top that's separated. So the plan is I'll go get the machine, and I've got a couple things to do over where that beech was, which is that way, and come back and we'll get some of this stuff cleaned up, this oak and this maple over here, and see if we can get them picked up, moved, stacked where I want them, and we'll be done for the day. So that'll be nice. Thankfully, this maple here was off the ground quite a bit, so I didn't need to fight with it like I did the beech trees that I had to work on. So I've got my chain here, and what I'm going to do is put two wraps around this piece right here. I think I've got it pretty much centered. I know this side's going to be a little bit heavier than that side, so I've got a little bit more length over there than I have over here. This side over here is where the stump is, and that side over there is the top. So let's go ahead and get these chains wrapped around here and see if we can pick this thing up. Well, I know we can pick it up, but see if we're going to have any trouble getting it around everything. I might leave a little bit more chain because I got to kind of fish it, in and around a bunch of other stuff. And this bucket is slippery. Got the second chain on there. Put that on that hook. Might spread these out just a little bit. Give us a little bit more control. There we go. All right. So let's see if we can pick this thing up. All right, so what I'm going to do is boom up a little bit. And what I'll do is dump the bucket while I'm booming up. I have to back up just a little bit. And that way I'll have pretty much the load on those hooks instead of the lip of the bucket. So you can see, I'll probably dump the rest of my chains out, but I'll get those in a minute. Looks like we can pretty much keep this thing moving. Just going to walk forward a little bit. It looks like I need to readjust my level, but what I'll do is I'll slide the whole tree this way a little bit, set it back down, hopefully set it back down on top of the stump right here, and that way I can keep it up off the ground. I didn't quite have it lined up. There we go. All right, so what I'll do is I'll readjust the chains to be a little bit more to the left, or to your right, actually. I'm going to move them quite a bit to the left because it was way off. Did the best I could, estimating the weight and everything. But let's go ahead and move this a ways over here too. All right, what we're going to try now is pulling this top out that I disconnected from the log we just yanked out of there. So I'm going to get a chain and I'm going to put it around this branch right here, or this part of the fork, and we'll see. It should be strong enough. This part of the tree should be strong enough, since this wasn't dead. It does have a little rotten spot in the middle, to go ahead and pull it out. And the idea behind this is to be able to pull it out, break it down into firewood. So let's see if we can do that. I've got my chain here. Just going to run it down through here, hook it onto there, and I'm just dragging. I'm not actually picking up right now. I might need to hook two chains together. Yeah, that's tight there. Let's see if we can get this thing to move. Well, the answer is yes. We could get it to move. That's nice. We got that pulled out of there. These maples have got a ton of limbs on them, so it's all good. I'll get in here and break off the junk we don't need, and just toss it over in the woods somewhere. And then the rest of it, what's usable, I'll block up and stack up. Next up, I'm going to try to take this stump and actually put it back in the hole where it came from, just to kind of clean it up a little bit so I don't have such a big depression there. And the stump itself, I can either cut off or I can grind it up a little bit with the forestry mulcher once it kind of dies a little bit, and I can work it down to ground level. That way I can kind of work around it. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing flipped over back in the hole. Oh, that's better than it was. I guess whatever. It's kind of just setting a little off, and the back end is still up off the ground. But maybe I can push it this way a little bit with the bucket, so it kind of fits back into that hole. But that's good enough for now. At least, if I came through here, I'd just run into the dirt pile instead of falling into the hole if I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Kind of what I was worried about. But either way, so we've got a nice chunk of wood there we could cut a few pieces off of and get that going, but we don't really need to. Oh, what's next? We've got this oak. Let's get this oak cleaned up. The plan with this is just get a chain on it, pull the tree out a little bit so I can work with it some, and then go ahead and pick it up and try to get it to I've got a place over there that I've got some more logs stacked up, so I'll probably stack it up with that, because that's like firewood stuff, and that's all this is just firewood at this point. So we'll go ahead and get that cleaned up and get this moving. Yeah, it worked out pretty good. I've got the tree here resting on the stump. That way I can work it from that end, the block it off there, and then over here, once I get that kind of cut back, I can come over here and kind of maybe cut this up a little bit, because there's probably some good wood in the top of this too that is perfect for firewood. I'll just stack a bunch of it up and hold on to it until I need it. But yeah, that's perfect. Got that done. That's ready to work. Those maple over there is ready to go. You can see that. And what else do we have? All right. So, yeah, well, I guess that's about pretty good for today, but nothing spectacular. We had a productive day again. I'm really, really excited about that. And the weather is just beautiful. Oh my gosh. I just cannot get over it. So, but either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, I really appreciate it. I really do. Everybody who's here, it's just really cool what we're doing. So, you guys have a great day and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.